Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marketing 459 Personal Selling and Sales Management. This is Chapter 5. Chapter 5 Profiling and Recruiting Salespeople. Profiling and Recruiting Salespeople. The New York Yankees baseball legend Yogi Berra said something like this: Eagles don't flock. Eagles do not flock. You have to find them one at a time. So eagles do not flock. So you have to find them one at a time. Salesperson, just like eagle, right? It's hard to find. Really, really good salesperson, it's hard to find. And I can tell you, it's just so hard to find a really good one, and it's also difficult, challenging to keep them on board. Okay, I have an example here. I remember one day I was working for a company called InnoTrack that used to work for them for several years. And one day I was in accounting supervisor there. And one day I passed by the office of our HR manager. The lady there, she said, "Hey, Frank, let me show you something." I said, "Okay, what is it you want to show me?" So I went to her office. She showed me a resume that she received. Okay. The resume, of course, is someone who is looking for a job with our company. It's for a sales job. I remember that. Then I look at the resume. Right? This guy had a bachelor's degree in marketing from a good university in the East Coast. Okay? Upon graduation, he came to the South, to South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and worked for a company here. He single-handedly created or opened the entire southeastern region, southeastern the United States region for the company, making big amount of sales, lots of sales, very successful. Right? And then later he jumped ship to another company in the West Coast. Again, single-handedly he opened the Western U.S. market for that company, right? Making millions in sales, tens of millions in sales. It was very impressive, right? And now, for personal reasons, now he wants to come back to the South, so back to Atlanta area. So he sent his resume to our company, hoping to make some, to find a position here. And since I was in accounting, I was in accounting supervisor, so I know all our salespeople, know their how much they make. Actually, I was the one to calculate their commissions, so they always come to me to see, "Hey, Frank, how much did I make last month? How much commission am I expecting to get?" So as I can tell, I just told them, "Hey, this is how much you're about to get." So they always get in touch with me, so I know the salesperson. And I know how much they make. And our salespeople, they make a lot of money. Absolutely, they make more money than most of the managers. Of course, in the company, the highest paid is the president, right? Then there's the vice president, and a lot of managers, supervisors, employees, and our salespeople. We had two or three. Their salary, their commission, and their income is often more than the vice president of the company. Yeah, many times, oftentimes. Yeah. So this guy, in the resume, he was asking. I think he was asking for like $500,000 in base pay plus commission. $500,000 in base pay plus commission. And we were not laughing, we were smiling. Talking to the HR manager. She said, "Hey, we can't afford him." I said, "Yeah, we are just a too small pond for this big fish." Judging by this guy's performance, the millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in sales this guy, generated for his company, for his employer, two employers. Is he worth that money? Definitely is, right? Definitely is. If someone, a good salesperson, can bring you $1 million in sales, or let's say, $100 million in sales, do you mind giving him like 1% of that, right? If he makes sales 100 million in a year, you give him 1%, that's $1 million, okay? So it all depends on how much they can generate for your company. So this guy was asking for $500,000 in base pay plus commissions, and he's worth it. He's worth it. It's just our company is not big enough. There's market potentials now there for him to make that money. So unfortunately, we have to put his resume on the shelf. Okay, we couldn't offer him a job. So profiling, recruiting salespeople, very important. Hard to get one. Eagles don't flock. Remember that. Okay. So in recruiting and selecting your salespeople, there are issues. There are problems, issues. Okay. One of them is the lack of resources to find a good candidate. Okay. Also, there is a lack of job specification and qualifications. Because a sales job, sometimes it's hard to define exactly what do you want in the person, in the position, and what kind of qualification is needed for that position. So if you don't have a clear, specific enough description, it's hard to find a qualified person. Okay? Also, qualifications not objectively established. It's not that easily established. Qualifications as to what is absolutely needed for sales position. Okay. Also, there could be a lack of managerial training, right? And also there could be personal prejudice. Okay? Do we have prejudice? People have prejudice? Yes, we do. Yeah. Consciously or subconsciously or knowingly or unknowingly, we all have prejudices over a certain type of person or certain group of people. Okay. Also, search for managerial talent is difficult. Okay? It's difficult. Okay. These are the problems in recruiting and selection. Okay. There are some key laws and regulations affecting a sales force. When you're the sales manager, you must obey the law and regulations affecting salesperson. Right? There is a Civil Rights Act of 1964, so you cannot discriminate. I'm sure you know that, right? You cannot discriminate a person based on his race, gender, age, family status, country of origin, national origin, and etc. Right? There's six issues you cannot discriminate based upon. That's the Civil Rights Act of 1964. There's a federal contract in compliance executive orders that you must follow. There's Age Discrimination in Employment Act of 1967. You cannot discriminate against someone who is, say, older. As long as the person is capable of performing the job, you cannot discriminate. Okay? Fair Employment Opportunity Act of 1972. Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Okay? Vietnam Era Veterans Readjustment Act of 1974. Uniform Guidelines on Employment Selection Procedures of 1978, and also Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, of 1990. So make sure you all follow all the laws. Okay. So the best thing to do when hiring a candidate, even for us, for example, in the university, when we hire new faculty and professors, we have to consult with the HR to make sure that we follow all the laws. So same case with you. You're the manager, consult with your HR manager or legal department in your company Make sure you follow all these laws and regulations. Okay. The sales force staffing process. What is the process of staffing? Finding the right person. The plan for recruiting and selection. Okay. First, you establish responsibility for recruiting, selection, and assimilation. Okay. Who is responsible for recruiting? Who is responsible for selecting? Right? And who is responsible for assimilating the person into your existing sales force? Okay? And then second, you determine the number of people wanted. How many people you want to hire? How many salesperson do you want to have? How many positions open? Okay? Then you need to conduct your job analysis. Analyze the job as to the detailed requirements, detailed aspects of the job work, the work. Okay. Then you prepare your job description. You have a clear job description, and then you determine the hiring qualifications. What kind of people are qualified to apply for the job? Okay. Then once that is done, you start to recruit applicants. Get your applicants, right? Then you select your applicants. Okay, select applicants. You need to design a system for measuring applicants. Objective measures of measuring those applicants, all those applicants. You need to measure applicants against hiring qualifications you established here. Okay, you establish your hiring qualifications, right? And you need to measure applicants against that qualifications. Do they have the necessary degree, okay, education? Do they have necessary experience, right, etc.? Then you make a selection, make a decision as to which one to hire. Then you hire the people. Once you hired, you have to assimilate them. You have to assimilate new people into your existing sales force, so he or she can work well together with your current sales force. Okay, so that is the sales force staffing process. Okay, how do you determine the number of people to hire? Right. Well, you can do a workload analysis. Basically, the number of reps you need equals the total workload in market divided by workload one rep can handle. Total workloads and how much one person can handle. With this divided by that, it gives you the number of reps you need to hire. Okay. Let's look at the market workload, right? So you have some customers, right? You have two types of customers. Customer class A and customer class B, right? For customer class A, you have 400 accounts, 400 customers. Class B, you have 600 customers. Right? For type A class of customer, 400 of them, you need to make 20 calls per year. About 20 calls. Remember the calls, right? A call is not a telephone call, but the sales visit is a visit to the customer. It's called a sales call. Okay, so you need the 20 calls per year. That is almost every one or two visits per month. Okay, and then for 400 of them, 400 customers, you're talking about 8,000 calls total. 8,000 calls. For type B of customer, you have 600 of them, right? You only need to visit them 10 times a year, pay them 10 visits a year. That's almost once a month. Once a month. That's enough, right? And for 600 of them, you have to schedule 6,000 calls, 6,000 visits to the customers, right? Together, you're talking about 14,000 visits or calls to the customers. Okay. Then how many people do you need, or how many people do you have for now? Right. Let's look at the one sales rep's workload. Right. We work 5 days a week. Right. So, sorry. Let's go back. Every salesperson can make 5 calls per day. Right? During the day, You schedule your route. You can visit 5 customers. Okay, 5 customers in the city or in the region. 5 calls per day. And how many days are there in the week? There are 5 days a week, right? That's five, right? How many weeks are there in the year? There are 52 weeks. 52 weeks in a year, right? But you need to take out the vacations, holidays. That's two weeks, right? So there are only 50 weeks. 50 weeks per year. So 5 times 5 times 50 equals 1250, 1,250 visits or calls by one sales rep. That's their annual workload. So as a sales rep, you expect to pay visits to actually make 1,250 visits to customers, either type A or type B. Okay? So for 14,000 total calls, and you have each person working, or making 1,250 visits per year, 14,000 divided by that will give you 112 reps. So that's how many sales reps you need with your company, okay, under your management. Okay, you need 12 people to make all those 14,000 calls to satisfy the needs of your 1,000 customers. Okay, that's the workload analysis. I'm okay. Okay. Sorry, that's the janitor coming. Okay. So work 112 reps. Okay, but there are also some other issues, right? You need to determine the final number of salespeople you need. You could have, for example, in your strategic plan, you have new territories needed. Okay? You want to expand into, for example, Texas. Okay, then you need new territories. You need to add 4 people. Okay, and then maybe you want to eliminate or combine territories. Minnesota and Rhode Island are the ones you want to eliminate. So you -1. Okay? And there may be some promotions. Salesperson promoted to sales managers or supervisors, right? You need to have 2 people promoted. Then 2 promotions are expected. Then you need to add 2 more people, right? Then there's some retirements. 2 retirements are expected. So you need 2 more people to fill the gap, okay? Then you could be some terminations and resignations, right? 1 termination is expected, okay? So that's plus another one that you need to fill. So altogether, you have a total of 8 new reps needed. Okay? This is show you an example of how you determine the number of salespeople you need. Okay? Now let's talk about the content of your job description. First, of course, is the title of the job. There are many types of titles for sales job. You could be sales associate, salesperson, sales engineer, you name it, sales consultant, there are many different types. You need to determine which is the most appropriate title for the position that you have. Okay, and then you need to tell about the nature of the product or service to be sold. What are you selling? What kind of service or product you're selling, so that the salesperson is responsible for selling. Okay. Then you need to describe the type of customers to be called on. What kind of customers do you call on to visit, to talk to? Okay. The frequency of calls. Do you call them every week, every month, or a few times a year? Right? And types of personnel to be contacted. Do you talk to their purchasing agent, managers, supervisors, regular employees, or what? Okay. Also, specific tasks and responsibilities to be carried out. You need to spell that out. Okay. And organizational relationships of your sales department with the other departments within the organization. Okay. Also, maybe mental and physical demand of the job. You want to do your demo for your customers. You have to be able to lift certain weights do some physical work. So, and also it is a stressful job, right? And mental capability is also needed. And the environmental pressures and the constraints that might affect job need all be included in the job description. Okay. And there are some traits and abilities of top salespeople. For top salespeople, we have identified 10 traits and personal traits, and abilities. Okay. First one, the trait, ego strength. Ego strength. In society, we don't normally like people with too big of ego, right? And nobody likes someone with too big of ego, right? Egomaniac, you don't want that, right? But you may need that for salesperson, sales job. Ego strength. Why do you need that? Because it's needed to handle rejection. Remember, a salesperson faces rejections all the time, right? And also the sense of urgency. Some people just have sense of urgency, some don't, right? The sense of urgency is needed to complete the sale. Okay, so you need that. Although their ego drive, you have a certain ego drive, strong ego drive. You need that ego drive to persuade people in personal selling. Okay? Assertiveness. We don't normally like people who are too assertive, right? They want their opinions on you, want you to accept their opinions. It's too assertive. We don't like that, right? But you may need assertiveness to be firm in negotiations. Okay? Also, this person needs to have the trait of willing to take a risk, willingness to take a risk. Therefore they can be innovative. You come up with solutions. Right? Sociability, very important. The person has to be sociable. Okay? Sociable, very sociable to build relationship with the customers. Okay? The salesperson needs to be abstract reasoning, to reasoning on abstract concept, right? Right? In order to be able to sell ideas. Okay? The person needs to have a sense of skepticism, right? Because when you have that, you can question, okay? You can be alert, right? Remember, in the spin technique, to identify the problem, right? You need to have a certain amount of skepticism. Okay? The person needs to be creative. You can see that, right? Creativity is important. You need creativity to sell complex products and ideas. Okay? As well, the person needs to have empathy. Empathy is important. Okay? Important. Okay? Why you need that? To understand the customer's needs. Okay? You don't have that. So these are the personal traits and abilities of the top salespeople. Keep that in mind. Okay? And also you can look at yourself. Do I have these traits or not? Am I a good salesperson? Or do I have the potential to be a good salesperson? Okay, that's an interesting exercise you can do yourself. Okay, recruiting for the team. Okay, and when you recruit for your team, a sales team, you need to look at things, or look at issues, look at the personal traits, look at if the person is willing to share. Willingness to share. Some people don't want to share. Okay? Share many things, everything. Okay? And their ability or willingness to cooperate. Okay? Cooperate with others. Are they cooperative enough? Okay? Are they trusting enough? Okay? Are they trusting? Are they empathetic? Right? Are they capable of accepting of others? And they receptive to others' ideas, not insisting on their own ideas. Right? Are they selflessness? Right? Are they selflessness or too selfish? Right? Do they have the leadership skills? right? To have leadership skills for team. Okay, these are the things you need to consider when recruiting for the team. Okay. Also, recruiting sources for sales rep. Where do you get the lead or the information, the source of information for your sales rep, right? You can go if you ask for referrals. Okay, you can offer referrals. Candidates and positions are known to person making referrals. Okay, existing sales force is an excellent source for referrals, as they know their job requirements and can identify good matches. As for referrals, as an existing sales force say, hey, refer some good people to me, candidate to me. Okay? Current employees, your current company's current employees knows the company and its product. It could be good source of information for recruiting. Okay, other companies, competitors. Okay, competitors know the customers and are very familiar with your products because you're competitors. Okay, and customers, your customers know your products and your company. They may give you some good referrals. Okay, your suppliers know your company and your products and know the type of people that you may need. Okay, the internet, you can get some information, a lot of information from the internet. Recruits may come through the company's own website or through specialized internet recruiting sites such as monster.com. Okay, monster.com. Right? Internet, the people may send in their application. Remember the story I just told you, HR receiving information about job applicant, for this job applicant. Educational institutions, primarily used when recruiting inexperienced people. Students are usually actively involved in the job search, and this provides an efficient place to screen large number of available candidates. Job fairs on campus. We have job fair on campus. I believe it is just this week or last week. Okay, and also your professors can receive lot of information about job opportunities, job openings. Okay? Advertisement, put an ad. Yeah, ads produces the greatest number of candidates, but the average quality is sometimes lower. Okay? Employment agencies. The agency is often more costly than other methods, but it will do a large part of the initial screening. The ones they actually refer to you, give you, are often of high quality. Okay, part-time workers. Okay, these workers are easy to contact, readily available, and can work flexible hours. This is a good source for in-home selling. Okay, part-time workers, voluntary applicants, like the guy I just told you about. Okay, these applicants are interested in your company and probably possess a high degree of self-confidence, self-reliance, and initiative. Great candidates for salesperson. Okay, so these are the sources, recruiting sources of sales rep. Okay. Differences in student and recruiter perception of important attributes for selecting sales position. Okay. You may be surprised to see that what the you guys see as important thing, important attributes in searching for a job, and as to what the recruiter, the company see as most important. Okay? As to the importance rank, right? What do students see? Okay? Student rank job satisfaction as number one, most important. Advancement opportunity, high, right? Company's financial stability, important. Recruiter shows interest, important. Employee morale, important, right? Then the fit with the goals, job security, company's reputation, company's training program, company's growth potential, recruiter being friendly or not, geographic location, near home or not, right? Non-monetary benefits, and then salary, and the recruiter personality. You'll be surprised, right? And the salary is actually not that high on student side, basically based on this research at least. Okay. On the recruiter side, they think in their view attributes selected by recruiter to be more important: training program, so advancement opportunity, right? Same here. Salary is high here, okay? Employee morale, job satisfaction, company financial stability, job security, company growth potential, employee voice own views, the tax variety, okay? Company reputation, non-monetary benefits, recruiter friendly, and fits the goals, and the recruiter shows interest. You can see the perception or expectation of students and recruiters are somewhat different or quite different. Okay. So how do you evaluate your recruits or potential candidates? Okay. You can use this matrix, this form, the table, to do that, right? Basically, you have your recruiting sources within the company, your sales force, other departments, yeah. From other companies, your competitors, customers, non-competitors, okay. And you have educational institutions, universities, and advertisements, employment agencies, voluntary applicants, and computerized databases. Okay? And then you want to look at the evaluation criteria. Okay, is this person or is this source consistent with our strategic planning or not? Okay, and also number of recruits you can get, number of people hired. Okay, and the percentage retained after 3 years. Okay, after 3 years, how many were retained? The cost of doing that, right? The frequency of use and percentage successful after 2 years. Okay, so you can evaluate all these and using all these criteria to come up with the one or the most valuable, most useful source of recruiting for your company. So this just give you a matrix, a framework for your evaluation. Okay. I think that's all I have for this chapter. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you, talk to you next time.